Good morning, hello, and I officially welcome you to the Pan Africanist podcast. It's a podcast that deals with issues relating to core Africans, both here in the motherland and overseas. We delve into sports, music, entertainment, fashion, and so on and so forth. Also, we make sure that we advocate for the end to imperialism in Africa, the end to tribalism in Africa, the end to xenophobia in Africa, and the end to racism in Africa. We choose to shine light on issues either in politics or in sports or in fashion or in entertainment where we feel like an African person is being maligned, maltreated, and is being subjected to prejudice. We hope this podcast to be able to shine light and also helps every African to be united once again. Because the goal is a united Africa. Because without a united Africa, there's no way we can fight imperialism and there's no way we can fight racism to its core roots. Today, we're going to be focusing mostly on these four core issues. We're going to look into the definitions of each one of them and also look on ways to advocate an end to every one of them. And these issues are imperialism, racism, tribalism, and xenophobia. These are four important core issues that are causing problems not all over the world, but mainly in Africa. It's so annoying and so depressing that as Africans we are still subjected to racism and imperialism in 2024. It's almost looking like a lost battle because our forefathers fought it, our fathers fought it, we are fighting it now, and if care is not taken, our children and grandchildren are still going to be fighting it in years to come. So it's important we look into it and find ways to put a stop and an end to it. First of all, we're going to look into imperialism. Imperialism is simply a policy of extending a country's power and influence onto other countries, not just onto them, taking over their lands, taking over their resources, making the locals not to have anything to themselves, subjecting the locals to second-class citizens, and forcing them to dance to the tunes of the imperialists. This has been a common practice in Africa, even from the days of slavery and all that. And it's become a core issue that our African leaders are unable to fight off. And why is this? Because our African leaders, most of our African leaders, they are mediocres. They are not visionary leaders. Until we start having visionary leaders in Africa, imperialism will always have a stake in Africa. Because just like the sayings goes, you can invite a thief to your house, then you cry while it steals from you. Our African leaders keep dancing to the tunes of the imperialists because of their greedy mindset, their corrupt mindset. They keep dancing to the tunes and turning themselves to the puppets of the imperialists, which they are never going to stop because they are getting what they want. They are here to steal. They are here to take our resources. They are here to take the things that could make life better for African people. What do you expect them to do? They are going to try, but it's left to leaders to make sure it doesn't have their way and it stays in Africa. Then we look at racism, which is a major problem. It has been a major problem and it's still a major problem, especially here in Africa. It's so shameful that 2023 Africans are still subjected to racism. Examples from the recent occurrences in Pretoria and also the ones going on other sides of the African continent. It should be thing of a shame that some white parents are still teaching their children and their kids racism's laws and racist laws. I feel like the generation before us, our fathers and our forefathers, um, they didn't play their role as parents because nobody was born racist. Nobody was born a tribal bigot. Nobody was born a xenophobic being. It's all been taught, either from uncles, either from aunties, either from parents, fathers, mothers. And it's a high time we put an end to that. Whatever you teach a child today, indirectly or directly, will have an effect on them for the rest of their lives. If you teach them to hate people from other races, they will be left with that for the rest of their life. If you teach them to hate people from other tribes, it will be left with them for the left of their lives. And if you also teach them to hate people from other countries because of imperialist imposed borders, it will be with them for the rest of their lives. You can imagine what a world would be like when kids are allowed to grow and live their life, allowed to learn and understand the community in which they were born in without being subjected to forced narrations and forced teachings of hatred and bigotry. I hope with proper enlightenment and proper educations, we can finally have an end to these four core issues in our society. And now you look at tribalism, I feel like enough light is not being shined or shed upon tribalism. We focus more on the first two, which is imperialism and racism, and then we forgot tribalism. Why do we forget tribalism? Because we feel, oh, we are all Africans, we are all black people, it shouldn't be a problem. Yes, it is a problem, because the imperialists' aim is to divide us across tribes, across countries, and across cities. That is their aims. Because when we stay divided, they will be able to steal and also to have influence over us, either politically or culturally. I think there are two core main things to focus on when we talk about tribalism. First, yeah, you're tribal conscious and you are loyal to your culture. Very good. It's okay to be loyal to your culture. It's okay to be tribal conscious. It's okay to be aware of where you're from, of your tribe, of your people. But what is not okay is exaltation of your own tribe over other group of people. That is what is not okay. Because when you look at racism, the main core issue with racism is people like white people, because to me, I don't see color. What you call white from the school that I went to is actually not white. Because you know what color, the paint of white itself, know what it means. Those we call white, if you want to classify them based on the colors we were taught in school, they are yellow to me. Could be different kind of yellow, but they are white. So this same issue, that superiority complex that they have over the black people and over the people of color, is the same exaltations that arises when the tribal consciousness and the tribal loyalty is being over-exalted. If you over-exalt your tribe over other tribe, believing your tribe is superior over other tribes, then it becomes a crime. It's good to be loyal to your tribe, it's good to exalt your tribe, but never exalt it and be loyal to it to the stage of you not feeling superior over other tribes. Because at the end of the day, we are all Africans. We are all black people. No tribe is more superior. No tribe is more important than every other tribe in Africa. Your tribe, my tribe, is still an African tribe. You shouldn't in no way feel that because you are from this certain tribe, yours is more important than mine. That's when it becomes a problem. That's when it becomes an African problem. And that tribalism takes us to xenophobia. Because as an African, I'll categorically tell you the root of xenophobia is tribalism. Without tribalism, there wouldn't be xenophobia. You wouldn't exalt your tribe over another person if you're not having hatred in you. It's good to be conscious to your tribe. It's good to talk about your tribe, to exalt your tribe. It's good to be loyal to your tribe. But don't ever start thinking that your tribe is more important than the other tribe. It's more like a tribal based example, a Yoruba and an Igbo. But it becomes xenophobia when you extend it out of your tribe. Because now you feel, oh, the imperialists have been successful in sharing us, even though we don't have the same tribal futures, but they shared us anyway. So indirectly, we adhere to the sharing. We adhere and conform to the idea of country base which they already put us in. So automatically you feel now, as long as this tribe is part of my country is superior than the other. But one thing we tend to forget, the same problem your country faces, every other country faces in Africa. No country in Africa is in a better place than the other. We are all facing the same problem. And what is our problem? We lack leaders. We lack visionary leaders. Africa is too blessed to be going through the pains and the agonies, to go through the unemployment, the crime. We are too blessed to be going through all this. I will implore every African, home and abroad, to stay united. Let's stick together. Let's form a united Africa. Pan-Africanism is not a movement. Pan-Africanism is a lifestyle. Let the bigotry off your heart. Let the hatred off your heart. Tribalism, xenophobia, racism, let it off you. Clean your heart. That's the only way we can make Africa great again. That's the only way we can take back our continent from the imperialists. Because you must remember, the root of migration is seeking for better life. It's seeking for a future for yourself and for your kids. And if that is not thoroughly taken care of in Africa, we will keep moving from one African country to another. Because by nature, human beings are migrants. By nature, human beings are meant to move from one place to another. I would employ and seek all Africans